Brazil's Attorney General has charged Bolsonaro and the others with 3 offences: criminal organisation, an attempted coup, and attempted abolition of the democratic state. These hold a total possible prison time of 28 years. The details, the Attorney General says that over a year before the election, Bolsonaro was already attacking the electoral system as a possible justification to overturn the results. He was inciting the military to join him in a coup. In fact, the Attorney General says that the only reason that there wasn't a coup was that although the Navy chief agreed with Bolsonaro, the Army and the Air Force chiefs didn't. Bolsonaro is also accused of leading legal teams trying to find a justification for a state of siege to keep him in power, to support the far-right mobs who are outside military barracks calling on the military to take over. And the most extraordinary accusation is of Bolsonaro's involvement in the Operation Green and Yellow Dagger, which was a plan to either kidnap or assassinate through poisoning or shooting Lula, then president-elect, his running mate, and a member of Supreme Court. The Attorney General is saying that a document with this scheme was printed in the presidential building at a time when Bolsonaro was present, and that Bolsonaro not only knew about this plan, but he also agreed with it. So those will be the charges that he will be facing. This comes in a 272-page document from the Attorney General, who is saying there are a lot of documentary evidence, hard proof that Jair Bolsonaro is guilty of these crimes.
Some quite extraordinary details coming out now. What will happen next from here?
It's up to the Supreme Court to accept or reject these accusations. I don't think you'll find anyone who thinks that the Supreme Court will not accept this. And then at the point where the Supreme Court accepts this case, Bolsonaro formally becomes a defendant. He then has the chance to have a full defence. There will be, I think, a desire on the part of the court to try and get this finished by the end of the year, not to go into 2026, which is election year. Bolsonaro's defence, I think, will certainly try and spin it out for as long as possible. So that's the situation as it is at the moment. He's not yet formally a defendant. He will become a defendant at the time that the Supreme Court accepts these accusations.
Very briefly, how's Bolsonaro reacted to these charges?
He hasn't spoken since, but he was in Congress earlier today trying to drum up support for an amnesty for those involved in those riots in Brasilia on the 8th of January. That amnesty would now seem less likely because there's going to be a drip of news about the coup attempt. And also, I think the far right in Brazil, they're quite quiet at the moment because they put so much faith in Argentina's President Javier Milei. And after this extraordinary alleged involvement in a pump and dump scheme, Brazil's far right for the moment are keeping quite quiet. They will be back alleging that Bolsonaro is a victim of political persecution.